Hello, welcome back to Behind the Filter podcast. Today, I say this a lot on my podcast episodes. This is Ashley, by the way, my other Ashley in my life. I have two Ashleys in my life. Every time I start a podcast episode, I'm always like, I have such a special guest. Like, I literally say that, I feel like in every episode. But I think I said this on social media, I think last week, that I said, I have an upcoming podcast episode that I'm going to be recording, and I feel like this is the most important podcast episode I've ever done in my life because there's so much to it. So I just want to let you know I'm happy you're here. This is Ashley, my friend Ashley, who we're going to get into the story of her son. Her son was tragically murdered back in 2023, right?
Yes.
And what we're going to do is kind of talk about the situation, what happened, where we are right now, where the case stands in Marion County in the state of Indiana. And we're just going to talk through it all. So before we kind of get into the nuts and bolts of what happened that day, Taylor J. Miller, did he like to be called Taylor? Did he be called J? Like how?
Taylor.
Yeah.
We called him Tot.
Tot?
Taylor Tot.
Oh, okay.
Was his nickname, but I always called him Tot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about...
But everybody else called him Taylor.
Okay. Tell us about Taylor. Like, how was he as a kid and growing up?
Well, as a kid, Taylor, his personality was always, like, bigger than life. He was always the biggest personality in the room. Like, when he came in the room, people noticed him. He wanted to be noticed, too. But he was also really funny. He would always make people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
At a young age, he was always fixing things. He would always kind of watch his dad fix things because he was in maintenance. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, he would just go around the house as a little kid and with his little nuts and bolts toys, John Deere toys, and he would fix things.
Did he like to build things too, like with Legos and that kind of stuff?
He was always fixing and building things. And then as he got older, and his dad and his dad's best friend, they opened a business called Blend-In Concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And so as Taylor got older, he went to work with his dad and his dad's best friend.
So kind of just...
refabbing houses.
Yeah, so kind of just seamlessly went in
they
together.
Did some property management, but like refabbing houses, and Taylor could fix anything. Yeah. Most of the time he worked alone. He, like, got stuff done fast when he worked alone.
Did you guys always live here in Indianapolis?
We lived here. No.
Are you? Yeah. So where are you from?
Okay. So when Taylor was born, we were living in Fishers, the Noblesville area.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then we moved to Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. But as Taylor became an adult and met his fiance, he moved to Tipton.
Okay.
So he was working in Indianapolis, but he lived in Tipton.
Tipton, exactly. Where is it? I know. I'm trying to remember.
It's like up north.
Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out, if it was further up north from Fishers or...
Yes, it's further up north.
Okay. I was just trying, in my brain, I was like...
Like past Cicero.
Oh, okay. So it's past Cicero. Okay, gotcha. I think I know what you're talking about now. Wow. So he
drove every day.
That's a long time.
Well, he loved Allison very much.
Aww.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, how was your relationship with Taylor growing up? Like with him growing up and then obviously being a teenager and everything?
Well, you know, we butt heads, mm-hmm. you know. As he became a teenager, we definitely butt heads.
As any
But as
teen.
he got older, like, our relationship got better. Before he was killed, our relationship was really good.
Yeah.
We talked a lot. We, you know, I made mistakes when he was younger. He was the first child. He was out of 5 kids. He was my oldest.
Wait, you have 5 kids?
I have 5 kids. Taylor's my oldest.
Why do I feel like I've never known this?
So basically, I had Taylor at 17.
Okay.
So
oh, that's like my mom
grew
had
up
me
with
when she was 17. My mom was 17 too, so okay.
Yeah, so he got to like grow up with me as I'm making mistakes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
so it's a different relationship when you have a child that young. Yeah, because I feel like my mom and I had something very similar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had him a week before my 18th birthday. I was still like a kid myself. So, of course, I made mistakes that as an older parent I wouldn't make, but we had a good relationship. For a couple years before he passed. No, actually, from about 16 to 21, we had really gotten a lot closer than when he was younger.
Mm-hmm. And so how was your 4 other children, since I know obviously he was the first one born, was he very far from like the age? Was there an age gap between that, or everybody was pretty close together?
2.5 years. That's how it was.
Okay.
Yeah, and then by the time we got to Bella, it was 5 years. Then 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because me and my brother, my mom didn't have another kid again until she was 37. So my brother, when he was born, it was always like everybody looked at me like if he was my kid, and I was like, no. He's my brother.
Well, and another thing about Taylor is he was so good with kids. Mm-hmm. He was really good with his siblings and his just other family members' kids.
Yeah.
He was definitely used as the babysitter a lot.
Yeah.
He was the oldest.
Sure. Yeah, he was the oldest, right? Yeah. So, of course, he got those types of responsibilities.
So, when he was 20, 21, he really wanted to be a father. And he tried to become a father. And
so that was something he was looking forward to.
He didn't get that chance. Somebody took that from him.
So, let's go ahead and fast forward. So, now he's in, that industry. Was he was working for a different company at the time, correct? It wasn't the same.
When that happened, he was working for Blend and Concepts.
Oh, okay. So it was Blend and Concepts.
Yeah,
okay.
That's where he was working.
So let's go ahead and I know this is a lot to hash out and to talk about. Let's go back to that day.
Okay.
So that was February
15th, 2023. It was his dad's birthday.
Oh, it was his dad's birthday too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And he still, at that point, did he have a close relationship with his father?
They worked together.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So they were very close. Yeah. They were together all the time.
They were together. They saw each other every day.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, he went to work that day.
So he went to work that day, and he actually, with his job, sorry, it's hard to talk about.
It's okay.
With his job, he was able to sometimes take Allison with him. Mm-hmm. And she would help him, fix stuff. Because they were empty houses.
Because there was a lot of rehab houses, right?
Blend and decided, I guess, to give some work to Dustin. Dustin is Taylor's father.
Okay.
So they decided to give some work to Dustin's brother, Christopher Miller.
Okay.
Who was a plumber. Mm-hmm. So he was contracted in to do some plumbing work at a property, like a property management, to go to a house and fix a toilet.
So then he would every once in a while. Did he work with all of them a lot, or is it just as a contracted?
No, Christopher just called the company and said, hey, I could use some work, and they gave him some work. So Taylor was not supposed to be at work with Christopher that day.
Wow.
So Taylor went and took Allison home. Mm. He said, this place we're going, it's not safe. I don't want you going down there. So he took her home and he dropped her off.
And so that place it's known as Hallville.
Yeah, but
in Indianapolis.
Not knowing that he saved her life by taking her home.
Yeah.
So he went with him and Christopher, went to Indianapolis, and and they went to that house.
So this was a service call, right?
Yes, this was a service call, and it was 2 streets over from Somerset. I cannot remember the name of the street, but they went to the house. Taylor did not get out of the car. It was a plumbing job. They were supposed to fix a toilet. Christopher went inside the house. Taylor stayed in the car. When Christopher went inside the house, it was just ratchet, just really disgusting. There was feces on the floor. There was bugs. There was a little kid running around.
So just not very good conditions for a child.
Basically, not for a child, no. But also Christopher said he wasn't working in those conditions until they cleaned the house up.
Yeah.
So he was trying to call the boss of Blendon. He was trying to call Paul, his boss, and he couldn't get a hold of him. So he gets in the car and tells Taylor, we'll just go to the gas station, right? So they go to the gas station. Taylor still doesn't get out of the car. Christopher gets out of the car, goes in to get some chew or something, chewing tobacco.
Okay.
And they leave the gas station. Just remember, Taylor still has not got out of the car.
So this entire time he's been in the car.
He's been in the truck, the work truck. He did not get out at the job site. He did not get out at the gas station. And then they were driving back to the job because they still hadn't got a hold of the boss, right? And Taylor, let me back up a little bit. Christopher started crying. He was upset about the little boy in the house. And he was like, I'm not going to work there. But, like, he was really upset about this little boy living in those conditions. So Taylor pulled onto Somerset, which is Somerset Street Drive.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that.
It's off of Michigan. And he pulled up there's like a Monon Trail right there.
Okay.
So he pulled over, and Taylor got out of the car, went over to Christopher's side of we call him Mo, sorry, family name, like Taylor, Tater Tot.
And Mo.
Christopher, we called him Mo, okay. So Taylor went over to Christopher side of the truck, and he gave him a hug because he was crying. And then finally the boss called back, and Taylor walked back to the driver's side, and he was on the phone with the boss saying, we can't work in there. There's fleas. There's feces on the floor. And then Paul hears like pop, pop, pop. And Taylor tells his boss, Paul, like, I've been shot. And that's all I know from that conversation. Then I know that Taylor gets off the phone and he calls his fiance, and he tells her, like, I've been shot and I'm gonna die. And he like pans the phone, and
so she's seeing him.
She sees the blood, and then her phone dies. But so as Taylor's like laying on the ground, he's saying like, Uncle Mo, Christopher Miller, help me. So Chris goes to get out of the truck, and the guys were still running away at that point.
Okay.
They turned around and shot Christopher. So he too is a victim. He was shot in the knee.
So he got shot after he got out of the car to try and get help for Taylor.
Yeah, this is all happening.
Oh my
While
gosh.
the phone call's happening.
So there's
Taylor's getting shot.
He's laying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's a video of Christopher hopping across the street to bang on somebody's door for help. To like say like, please come help my nephew. He's been shot. I don't know if it was like a fight or flight kind of situation, because there was phones right there. So I don't know why he didn't like grab a phone and call 911, or maybe he was afraid the guys were going to come back and shoot at him.
Right.
Honestly, I have no idea. I feel my
like
son's laying on the street.
When you're in that, you just probably have no idea what your response is going to be, or even if you're thinking,
Yeah, because later Christopher was like, why did I leave him? Why did I do what I did? And I'm like, well, it's like fight or flight. You don't know how you're going to respond
Right.
in that situation.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Taylor's lying in the street. Christopher is at a neighbor's house, I would say probably 15 feet away. And they call 911. There's another lady that calls 911. So that's what I know about that situation. And then the paramedics come. They take Taylor to the hospital. They get Christopher to the hospital. And Taylor is in surgery for 2.5 hours. And they come out. They said that his heart had stopped. So there's more to the story.
Right.
I just wanted to get, like this is what happened.
Yeah. 2
men ran up that had masks on. 2 African-American men had masks. It was kind of like the way Christopher described it.
Well, because it's February, so it's freezing.
It was
out,
it wasn't a ski mask, though.
Okay.
It was like a different kind of, like, mask that they just kind of, like, put up over their face. So he could see...
so it didn't fully cover them.
He could see the guy's eyes, and that image of that guy's eyes is, like, burned into his brain.
Yeah.
So, fast forward, Taylor has passed away, and Christopher's in the hospital. He's been shot. I'm just going to fast forward to when the homicide detective came and visited me.
No, that's fine. I want to know also, though, who called you when all of this was happening? Like, how did you find out?
So Taylor's dad called me and said Taylor's been shot because his boss, Paul, which was actually his dad's, like, best friend.
Okay.
Since they were kids.
Yeah.
He was on the phone with Taylor when he was shot. So he calls Dustin and said, I heard the shots. He said he'd been shot. Dustin calls me crying. I just remember, like, driving straight to the hospital. I called 911, like, where's my child? They wouldn't tell me. They said they couldn't because of HIPAA. And I'm like, well, is it this hospital or this hospital? And the 911 caller was nice enough to give me a hint. Because she gave me a hint, I knew where to go.
Okay.
And then when I got there, the doctor was like, he's got a blood pressure, he's talking, he's okay for right now. And I was like...
so he was talking and obviously coherent.
Yeah, the paramedic didn't think that he had life-threatening wounds, and neither did the 911 caller that went and laid by him. But, he was shot 3 times, I believe. And I believe he was shot by 2 different guns.
Really?
I'm not positive about that.
Yeah.
But by the coroner's report, when they said the diameter of the wounds, they were two different. They were 2 different sizes.
Oh.
So that makes me think both of those men shot.
Yeah.
But why did they shoot?
Why? Because I don't know. They didn't steal anything.
No.
They just ran. They shot and ran.
I should have said that too. So Taylor was never involved in any street activity. I don't even think Taylor ever had a speeding ticket. Like, he went to work and went home.
Yeah.
Like, he fished, he fixed, like, he could fix anything on anybody's car that was wrong. Like I said, he fixed things.
Yeah.
So, like, he had hobbies. He stayed out of trouble.
What was your...
I know I'm all over the place.
No, you're fine. No, you're totally fine. We're going through a lot of information. You get to the hospital, he's fine at the moment, and then what happened then all of a sudden? A couple hours pass and he's gone.
I walked the halls for 2 hours because I knew that what they said to me didn't mean shit, It didn't mean anything. because anything could happen.
Yeah.
And then when that lady came out and called us into that room, like, I kind of knew my heart dropped. The only thing she got out was his heart stopped, and I like, the fight or flight, flight, like, I left. I don't know what else she said.
Oh, so as soon as she said that, you just took off.
Yeah. Allison stayed, his fiance stayed and talked to the doctor, and my son's father-in-law, but yeah, I was in shock.
Mm-hmm.
I was in shock. But yeah.
What do you remember about those days afterwards?
It felt like that movie Groundhog's Day.
Mm-hmm.
When you wake up and it's like the same thing, and it's like a nightmare.
Yeah.
And you wake up a nightmare, and it kept going every single day for like the longest time.
Mm-hmm. So, obviously, this happened.
Have you seen Groundhog's Day?
I
Okay,
have,
a lot of people haven't.
Oh no, but it's
But
literally
it's the
same
like
thing
that.
over and over again, and nothing changes, and you're like living
Like
in
I wake up to the same
the
nightmare.
same horrible thing every single day.
Yes.
How quick did because then after that, obviously, IMPD was involved, which is the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, and so how quick did they come to talk to you? You guys try to figure out what happened. Like, what was the process after everything?
I think the next day or the day after, I think it was the next day, Lottie Patrick, she came to my house. I sat out in her car. I talked to her.
And she's the homicide detective.
Yes. And I think she also talked to Taylor's fiance on the phone. She was just kind of getting notes. I know this is where things get really complicated.
Mm-hmm.
She would go to meet with Christopher, and she would say that he was making excuses to not meet with her, and he was saying she was making excuses not to meet with him. Like, they were both telling me that the other person was avoiding
Really?
the other. Yeah. So, needless to say, Christopher and Lottie do not get along.
Mm-hmm.
He said some really horrible, nasty things to her.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it was obviously out of anger
Yes,
and grief
and
and frustration? And
yes, and at this point, I don't blame him for things that were said. Maybe he shouldn't have said some of the things he said, but I can understand the frustration. And at this point, he's not cooperating with police, and he did decline a polygraph. So,
how did that make you feel when he declined that?
Why?
Right.
Like, why?
I mean, obviously it's not permissible in court, but
Right.
But why?
But also when he declined the polygraph,
you're a family member.
There's more to it. When he declined that polygraph, when they called him and asked him to take it, he initially said no. Then he told him yes, and then he told him no again. And then he called me and he said he was at the park, and then he said he was going to hang himself. And I'm like, you're going to hang yourself because they asked you to take a polygraph? So I was a little confused. He didn't want to talk about it. So anytime I would ask him to tell me, like, walk me through the story of what happened, because you're the eyewitness, you were there.
You're the only person that could help.
He wouldn't do it, and he would get really, really defensive.
Wow. How did that make you feel when, like, he's the one person who could possibly provide something for this?
I'm really just confused.
Yeah.
Is he refusing because he had it with Lottie before I had it with Lottie? Because I've had it with her.
Yeah.
I've had it with IMPD.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he had just had enough out of her before I had. So within a week of Taylor's murder, Lottie Patrick had taken a 60-day leave of absence. She turned her phone off. She wasn't taking calls. No one was investigating my son's death for 60 days after it happened.
How did you find out that she took a personal leave? Did somebody from IMPD?
Her boss told me. Her boss told me.
Did they say we're going to have somebody take this over while she's out?
Absolutely not. Nope.
Are you serious?
No, they just said that they would be looking out for emails or any phone calls, tips. So nobody went door to door to ask if anybody saw anything. Well, I'm not going to say nobody. I did. I went in a dangerous neighborhood and went door to door. I found one woman who had called 911 and she saw my son laying in the street. I kept at it. For a couple years, I kept at it. Like, I would just randomly stop on this and knock on doors. And then one day I knocked on a door and it was an old man and his wife, and he said that Christopher had knocked on their door. Like, I said there was a video of him hopping to somebody's door. Mm-hmm. He had hopped to their door.
Okay.
And the older man said he grabbed his gun and he ran out to Taylor. And he said Taylor didn't look like, he was had life-threatening injuries.
Yeah.
But he waited with him until the paramedics got there.
Okay.
He had no idea that Taylor had passed away. But all these people that I knocked on their doors, none of them were ever talked to by police. Police never came to any of their doors. None of them. Not even the woman whose house was right next to where it happened.
Oh my gosh.
Nope, nobody. So I confronted Lahie.
So you were being detective. You were
I was
the role
being
of
detective
for the police because they weren't doing.
Yeah, and I put up like hundreds of flyers and laminated them so they wouldn't be destroyed by the weather. Yeah. And they're all missing. So that's weird. So Lottie, I asked her why she didn't go like door to door. She said, well, that's like old time police work. We don't do that anymore. They get phone records. They do stuff like that. So the first thing they did was get Taylor's phone records. They didn't find anything. They also ran like a drug screen on Taylor to see if he had any drugs in his system. Of course he didn't, except what they gave him at the hospital during surgery.
Yeah.
I don't know about Christopher because they won't tell me that's I can't get that information. Yeah. I can only get Taylor's information.
I know you gave me the coroner's report. I looked it over.
So you saw there's no drugs in his system other than what was given to him during surgery. Mm-hmm. So immediately they're like, well, Christopher has passed, So they start looking through his phone records, and they go back 6 months. Mm-hmm. I don't think they found anything, so I think she just gave up. She just gave up. Every time I called her, she wouldn't return my calls. Every time Christopher called her, she wouldn't return his calls. So 2 years, so let's just say in a span of 2 years go by, Lottie Patrick took 3 60-day leaves of absence. So it sounds to me like she's got some personal things going on.
Yeah.
And she probably shouldn't be working in homicide.
Right.
And the only time I can get her to answer...
Time is so important.
It is, especially right after. Mm-hmm. And I did ask for, a new homicide detective.
I was going to ask you.
Somebody who could dedicate their time.
Because I remember you were asking for information for that, and I was telling you who to contact. Have you received a response in regards to a new detective?
No. But when I asked about it, about a year and a half ago, they said, oh, they don't do that. They don't
reassign detectives.
They don't reassign detectives unless a detective were to retire or something like that. And I just don't feel like that's true. I don't feel like that's accurate, or it shouldn't be. I mean, if there's situations that have happened like this,
right?
There was evidence lost because of her 60 days off. Not.
How did you find out about those 3 60-day personal leaves?
Fox 59 News. Mm. Fox 59 News. Mm-hmm. Mr. Russ McQuaid.
Mm-hmm. So if it wasn't for Russ, you wouldn't have known that she took all of these leaves?
I would not have known there was 3 of them.
The 3 of them. Because you knew about the first one.
I knew there had been a couple.
Okay.
But I didn't know that there was 3. And I also didn't know that she had 12 cases and had only solved 2. And the 2 that were solved were open shut cases. So there's an issue here.
Yeah, there is.
And the only time that this woman will call me is when February 15th rolls around. And she knows that I'm going to be, like, talking with Angela, with Fox 59, or Russ McQuaid, or Jesse Wells. That's when.
And
for
those of you who are listening to the podcast here in Indianapolis, those are people in TV, our news stations here that are heavily into reporting this kind of stuff. And probably, I think Russ takes on a lot of those stories where
Fox 59
they're missing pieces to some of these homicide cases. I think Russ does a lot of that, right? From what I've seen.
Yeah, but since the very beginning, Fox 59 has, like, covered Taylor's story a lot.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So now, here you are, 2 years later.
2.5 years
2.5 years later.
2.5 years later, and I want a new detective.
So you're here.
Taylor deserves a new detective.
Absolutely.
He has been, he's been let down.
Yeah.
Taylor's been let down.
It's interesting to hear that her response to, oh, that's old school detective work. We don't do that anymore. I get that, but, like, if something happened right in front of in a neighborhood when there are witnesses, why wouldn't you go door to door and
There's a video.
and get firsthand,
There's a video
eyewitness
lost.
accounts about what exactly happened?
Absolutely. People got doorbell cameras.
Exactly. A lot of people have those Ring cameras now.
After 60 days, people don't have those videos on their doorbell camera anymore. So there was a guy, I'll keep his privacy, but he, his camera caught the shooters run through his backyard. Nobody came knocking on his door, so I guess he just didn't turn it in, or maybe for his safety he didn't turn it in, but nobody came knocking or asking, or he probably would have. They would probably have that.
Yeah.
But, after 60 days, that stuff's gone.
Yeah.
There's a school right nearby. They have cameras.
Oh, my gosh.
There's a church nearby. They have cameras.
So all of these things that were missed opportunities.
She had went up and down the street. There wasn't any cameras. I went up and down the street. There was all kinds of cameras.
So have you ever talked to anybody else besides the person that was assigned your case? To anybody else within the department?
Just Lahie Patrick's.
Because I saw
just her supervisor.
Okay. Well, just on the report that you sent me, I saw there was like 20 officers listed on that report.
Yeah, I didn't talk to any of them.
So I was like, where all these 20 officers come from, and did any of them not have anything to contribute to the report? Like, what is that?
Yeah, I guess Lahie did say she was going off of their body cam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she did say she was going off the body cam.
Sure, but,
so
that's after the fact.
Carried. He knew that he was working in bad areas. Yeah. But he didn't see it coming.
Well, yeah, he's completely he was turned around, right?
Why would he see it coming?
Back?
Yeah. And I think he turned around, but he had 2 guns inside the car.
Oh, gosh.
But you can't defend yourself when you don't know it's coming.
Right.
When you're not arguing with anybody, when you don't have any enemies. He did not have any enemies. So did somebody shoot the wrong person? Did they mean to shoot somebody else?
Right.
Was it a gang initiation? I don't know.
Did she ever say when you were, and again, I know she had that personal lead very quickly, but at any point did she say, like, any of those things, like, I'm looking into possibility A, B, C, or this is something that might be prominent in the neighborhood, or we've had these circumstances happen before?
She's been pathetic from the beginning. And honestly, it has taken me 2 years. It took me 2 years to tell her what I thought, because I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. I really was. But I've had enough.
Yeah.
I've absolutely, at this point, had enough.
Was that an email? Was that a phone conversation?
Oh, I sent her a text message and I said, I didn't expect you to respond because, it's not February 15th or right before. Mm-hmm. And she didn't. But I just told her, I didn't think that, she was doing her job.
Yeah.
She hasn't done her job.
Right.
And if you've taken that many leaves and you're working in homicide, with the amount of homicides that are in Indianapolis, if there's any detective that's taking that many leave of absences for that long, then they should probably find a different department to be working in.
So for 2.5 years, you have gotten nothing. You've gotten no answers, no leads. Nothing to go off of besides you going door to door and trying to do things on your own.
And I'll send her, even though she doesn't respond, when I get some information, when I find something, I always send it to her, hoping she'll do something with it. Mm-hmm. But it's been like I've been the investigator.
Yeah.
But maybe there's things she knows that she can't tell me. Like the last time I talked to her, she does not like Christopher. She does not.
Does she admit that?
He said something pretty bad mm-hmm. to her. Nothing racial or anything like that. It wasn't anything like that.
Yeah.
I
would imagine if you were in that line of work and you were a homicide detective, you could probably expect any and every range of emotion from people who have lost a loved one. You'd probably, not to say it's right, and it's absolutely not wrong.
Because I apologize.
Yeah, it's not right at all for anything that may have been said.
He wished her ill will. Yeah. We'll just say that.
Yeah. And so that's not nice at all.
So I felt like it was like...
But you're dealing with, you lost a family member. You lost your son.
Yeah.
You lost a family member, and there's nothing that's being done.
I felt like she treated it as, you know what? He talked to me like that. I'll show them. I swear that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like because, like, he said certain things to her that...
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that word.
You can say whatever you want. This is my podcast.
All right.
I
pissed her off.
I've dropped F-bombs left and right on this podcast, so we are all good.
So I think because he pissed her off, mm-hmm. It was like, I'm going to show you I'm not going to do shit for this case. And she hasn't. She hasn't done anything.
Wow. So here you are, 2.5 years later. There's been minimal communication. No move on the case, this much. And then you even try to request for a new detective, and there's nothing still.
I asked his boss, and or the woman that's right ahead of her, mm-hmm. and I don't want to say her name because she's actually technically related to our family in a way.
Okay.
So I thought that she would help.
Yeah.
Being that
there was some type of connection.
Technically your family.
Right.
So I did think that her boss would do something, but she said, and I do think she did try to help me, mm-hmm. But her hands were tied, and she couldn't reassign Taylor's case. And honestly, I think she got in trouble. I think they kind of told her to back off.
Really? Interesting. So you had one person who was a connection try to do it, then obviously she backed off for a reason.
I think she got in trouble, yeah.
And so now you're back at a standstill.
It's been a complete standstill, absolutely.
What is your relationship with Christopher right now?
I do not talk to him.
Really?
Nope. His brother does not talk to him. My son, my daughter, does not talk to him.
So after this situation, was he like that before where he didn't speak with the family?
Oh, no. No, the family was quite close. But when one refuses to cooperate one refuses a polygraph.
I mean, that's obviously a
A
red
lot of
flag.
speculation.
Speculation starts to come into play. Like,
Yeah.
why would you do that if you were a witness?
And people talk. Things get said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for him, he's probably
So,
just,
like,
I'll recluse.
the police, a lot of people think that he knows something and he's not telling what he knows.
That's crazy. Just on your end to think, like, here's this person who's supposed to be family.
I know by the way he acted when I gave him my son's ashes, the way he looked at me in my eyes. You know what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say it out loud, but he said it in his head. You shouldn't be giving this to me.
Wow.
Like, I read his mind.
Yeah.
And I've known him since he was like 8 or 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I know him. When I handed him like a bag that had Taylor's ashes in it, he looked at me. He didn't want to look at me in the eyes.
He couldn't.
But I kind of like sat there and waited until he did. And then the look he gave me was, you shouldn't be giving this to me. Oh, and he's went on and tried to open a GoFundMe. And he
For who? For him?
For him, he's tried to play the victim.
Oh.
Like, I want to open a food truck. Yeah, and then he uses my son's story, which I get is also like his story, but he's not cooperating with police.
No, if you're not cooperating and you're not helping the investigation, then obviously there's a problem.
Yeah, so he tried to go and open a GoFundMe to get a food truck, like Christopher Miller, and I don't remember the other friend. He was trying to raise money through GoFundMe to try to open a food truck. Because this horrible tragedy happened to him. So there's a lot of reasons why none of us want to speak to him.
I can't fathom being part of such a horrific situation and then not trying to help as much as possible.
Can I tell you what his Instagram name is?
What?
Well, it's the Shot at Home Dad.
What?
Yeah. So the Shot at Home Dad, that's what it said on his, when I looked at his Instagram one day. Yeah. So, like, it was almost like he was bragging. Like, my son's dead.
Oh,
and you're the Shot at Home Dad. You're the stay at home dad that was shot. So it's almost like bragging. There's videos, like, that seem to be like he's bragging that he was shot in the leg, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then tries to do a GoFundMe, like we're dying here without Taylor in our lives.
Yeah.
And he's just going about his life, like, seemingly from the, from my perspective.
Yeah.
Like everything's okay.
Well, and not only that, but then, like, I get the fact that I know you haven't had any help from the homicide detective, but then having this relationship where they don't like each other or whatever it is, it's like she should be pushing as much as she can on him, considering he
Make him come back in and talk.
Exactly, like do all of that,
Yes.
especially that he won't take a
So,
polygraph test. That's
Lahie-
major. That's a big deal.
It is. And Lahie is
So why is she doing something about it, you know?
She says the next time she has a conversation with Christopher, it's going to be very different from the first. And she keeps implying that she thinks that he shot my son. I don't like Christopher because he's not cooperating with police, but I can promise you he did not shoot my son. Like 150% he did not shoot my son. And if he did, he would be in jail. If he did, he'd be in jail. There would be evidence.
Well, your son was on the phone.
He was on the phone and he said, they shot me.
Yeah.
He would have said, Uncle Mo shot me.
Right.
You know? And Mo was shot himself. And there was actually a bullet right where his head was, Christopher. Like when he stood up out of...
really?
Yeah, they actually shot at his head. There was a bullet there, right where his head was. But he ducked and hit the ground. And then they shot him in the leg. So that's another way of her not... Lahie, the detective, not doing her job. Is like, oh, I'm just going to put it off on him.
Well, not only
because I
that,
don't
if he
like
was
him.
shot, was he shot in an area in the area of the leg that he could have shot himself to make it look like he did it?
No, because there's bullet holes in the truck.
So that,
and I said that to her.
She
She
doesn't
said,
pan out.
She goes, well, can you send me those photos of the bullet hole?
Why doesn't she have them?
She does, but she's too lazy to go get them from the crime. She's too lazy to go get them from the crime scene photos. So she asked me to have his dad, who's driving around in the truck at work, which he already caulked the holes because he couldn't keep looking at it.
Oh.
And he said, no, I'm not doing it. She can go back and look through the crime scene photos and find the holes herself.
That's her job.
That's her job.
It just baffles me that there's like
it's a big
person
mess.
A person that there's an issue with that, and the person who's supposed to like be working to figure that out is unresponsive and just not really doing what she needs to do.
Because it's not an open shut case, she actually has to do some work. She's not going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
So Taylor lost his life at 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't deserve it. He was a hard worker. He went to work and went home every day. And he loved the shit out of his fiance. He wanted a family. He wanted to make babies. And that was taken from him by two men on February 15th, 2023, that just ran up on my son and shot him for no reason that I know of.
Yeah.
He wasn't involved in anything. So, for what reason, I don't know.
Oh my God.
So, if somebody knows something, I want somebody to speak up.
Yes.
It's time to speak up.
Yeah. And I'll, for those of you listening and not watching, because we're going to be sharing a lot of podcast clips on here, I want a couple of photos of him.
Okay.
So that we can share it.
Yeah, and you can also Google Taylor J. Miller of Indianapolis, and there's lots of stories. Mm-hmm. There's a couple YouTube stories. A couple people have done stories on YouTube about Taylor.
I'll take a look at those too. I think it's really important for, especially in Indianapolis. I mean, even we have seen the trend, and me being in news, I'm seeing it every day. We're constantly getting emails of homicides. And
I think there was like 5 shootings within like a week or a week and a half of Taylor's murder.
Oh, really?
Right
around that time?
Yes, right in that area. But she said that they were not related at all.
Really? They weren't at all?
She said they were no way related.
Like not in proximity?
Well, I was like,
anything?
Could it have been like a gang initiation?
That's the only thing I can think of.
She said they don't do that anymore. And I've heard so many people said, yes, they do.
Yes, I've heard they still do that.
But
yes.
Then there's the issues with the uncle. Why won't he cooperate? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want answers. And I think that Indianapolis owes Taylor a new homicide detective.
Yeah. No, I think so too.
He deserves it.
Absolutely. And I think that's why
He contributed to society. Mm-hmm. He wasn't a problem. He didn't even have a speeding ticket. He deserves a new detective.
Absolutely.
That's the least they can do.
Mm-hmm. You guys need to finally get some kind of break in this. It's been too long with silence. And then also silence from people that are supposed to protect and kind of help you through something like this. When like really you only have one, you are relying on one person basically, because you're not allowed to contact anybody else, right?
As in who?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like over at IMPD.
I was told the only person that I'm allowed to contact is Lahie.
Is your detective.
And like I'm the only person that she will communicate with.
Right, so how did...
But she doesn't. this story has so many twists and turns, and I know, like, for people listening, it could be kind of confusing.
Yeah. I just think it's just bananas to me that there's not a lot happening. I know with me being in news, I do see, you know, reports coming out of things that either are unsolved or solved, or, you know, we do get reports of people finally being sentenced and being arrested for homicides and things of that nature. But at the same time, we also know that within the city of Indianapolis, it's gotten worse.
I'm waiting for them to pull somebody over and confiscate a gun and, you know, the ballistics to come back and match, like something. I'm just waiting for something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to...
Because it ain't coming from the detective.
Oh, no, not at all. Like, the only thing I can think of is, yes, is that put in some sort of, I don't even know, is that put in some sort of database?
So Taylor's ballistics from him being shot is in a database.
Okay.
Every gun that they take off the street, every gun that is confiscated.
Is it ran through that?
It is shot, and then, like, they shoot every gun.
Okay.
And then they put those ballistics in. It's like a DNA database for guns.
Okay, so that would be the only, not the only, but
so
I mean.
they can find a murder weapon like
Right.
that, and they do all the time. It's
Right.
literally a DNA database for guns. Because each gun, like, has special characteristics when they shoot
Right.
that bullet.
Gosh. I just can't.
She won't tell me, like, what gun, like, what type of gun was he shot with? How many times was he shot? She won't tell me anything.
Well, I saw the coroner.
Right, but I can't tell if it was 3 or 4 times. I can't tell.
I thought I saw 4 in the report when I was reading through it.
But if you really look, it may be 3. And then it looks like there's 2 different size entrance wounds.
Yeah, it's just so crazy. I don't understand.
And they were also, another thing is, they were in a basic white work truck with a ladder on the back, which a lot of contractors drive.
Right. So clearly it looks like they're working. It's not like it looked like they were being like shady or anything like that.
Could it have been they thought he was somebody else? Because I also, you know, during my knocking on doors, my investigating, there was one day, it was like 2 weeks after Taylor was killed, I drove up. They were working on Lewitt Street. That's the street they were working at.
What's it called? What is
Lewitt?
it? Lewitt?
Like
L-U-I?
L-U-E-T-T, I think.
E-T-T,
That's
Lewitt.
where they were working as the plumbing. And then they were on Somerset, like, just parked, waiting for the boss call back. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Fine. You were saying because they were on that Lewitt Street and they had the van or their work truck.
Yes. So it was like 2 weeks later, and I was like, kept driving down there because I wanted to find somebody standing outside, or, you know, somebody I could talk to.
Yeah.
I wanted to question people because nobody else was, and I saw a truck parked there that looked just like my son's truck. That was parked, and like right where my son was parked. So I'm like, that's weird. So I did tell the detective that.
That is weird.
Like, it was a white truck with the ladder thing on the back.
So you're wondering,
did somebody run up on the wrong person?
think it was the different person.
Yeah. But then, you know, we keep going back to the, you know, Christopher not wanting to do the polygraph, or not wanting to come in and be questioned, or not wanting to even tell me. Not wanting to tell me the story. When I asked him, he like yelled at me, "I already told you." And I'm like, "No, you didn't."
That's insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And I also want to mention, I reached out to IMPD. I reached out to Public Affairs, and I reached out to the Homicide Division of IMPD. And as of today, because this will air, or this will run or launch, not specifically the day we're recording it. So if there is an update, I will put it in the email. But as of today, there is no response and no statement. I did get an email back saying I was not to message any detectives on staff But I had everything. I was very, I was coming straight from the newsroom because we are going to be sharing your story on WIBC so we can try and get some eyes on it. And I put the case number, I put the CAD number, I did all the things I was supposed to. And I just said, would you like to, provide a statement? I am going to be interviewing this person. And the response was, one, when are you doing the interview? When is it going to air? And two, please don't email. They said, please don't email the detectives, only email public affairs. And then they attached, I guess they have like some sort of media list of reminders for people in the media, kind of like their do's and don'ts. And I'm like, okay.
Indianapolis wants everyone to forget about Taylor J. Miller. They don't want to talk about him. They don't want you to talk about him. They don't want the news stations to talk about him. They just want it to go away. It's not going away. I'm not going away.
Yeah, no. Do you think the city themselves treat a lot of the homicide cases like this?
I've called attorneys because I feel like there's negligence. So I'm just trying to wait and see if they will give him a new detective.
Right.
That would at least make me and the rest of the family happy. We would calm down a bit if they would assign it to someone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we could have actual hope.
It just makes me think, how many families in this city, not even the city, all around the U.S., who are going through like the same situation you're going through, where you have lost somebody in your family and there are no answers because the work is not being done.
There's a lot of moms in Indianapolis. There's a lot. Actually, I've talked to them. There's like a coalition of moms that lost their sons to gun violence.
So then you guys are able to like share stories and talk with one another. So for a fact.
And a lot of them are not solved, and nobody's doing anything.
Yeah, so it's the same thing.
And a lot of people know who the detective is for some reason. People know who she is, but not for a good reason.
Gotcha.
She doesn't have a very good reputation.
Maybe that's why I didn't get a response. We'll see if I end up getting one, or if public affairs is just going to give me a blanket
I told you
response.
she wasn't going to respond.
I know, but I had to try.
I know.
I had to do something. Oh my gosh. I'm hoping that with this episode that we can get this information out, that we can get it and blast it everywhere, so that the more eyes see your story, see Taylor's story and what's going on, and the lack of work that is being done on this case, that somebody knows something that can provide.
People talk. They can't keep their mouth shut.
Right.
So somebody's heard something.
Yeah.
There's a reward.
There is.
There is a reward.
Then
the family's willing to add to the reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, for information leading to an arrest.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I would say to contact the homicide division of IMPD if you should have. I should be saying that. Sorry.
Yeah, people should call regardless whether there's a reward or not, just because it's a decent thing to do.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
Like an innocent 21-year-old, he was still a kid, was murdered for no reason of his doing. Somebody needs to stand up and say something.
I know obviously Christopher's not talking, but when everything was going on, did he even get a look at what they were wearing besides some sort of random mask where he could see the eyes?
See from it, they were African American and one was light skinned. And that's all because he could only see.
But he didn't see the rest of their.
One was taller than the other.
If they were wearing jeans or sweats or jacket.
I don't recall. I'm sure he remembers, but.
It's just so it's so frustrating because it's like I know the longer time that it passes and there's no work to be done, you're right. People forget, and then other things start to happen, within the division, and there's crime every single day, everywhere. So we're just trying to make sure that Taylor's not forgotten about, and that something comes of this, because this is just awful for you to have to. Year in, going in, you're at 2.5 years now, and then you're going to hit year 3, and then you're going to get the same call from the detective with no information. Just a reminder. You already know it's been 3 years.
I mean, almost everybody's seen the first 48, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know those first few days after a murder are like
so important.
They're so important. The first week, so important. So that's where the biggest mistake was made. The biggest part of negligence was made was her taking that leave and then not saying, hey, this case is brand new. You're taking a leave. We're going to have to give it to somebody else. Yeah. Somebody else has to work on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they should have done.
Mm-hmm. Do you have, because I'll break this up in a minute for the people in the video, for people who are watching this, and then also on social media. Do you have a photo of the vehicle they were driving in?
Oh no, because they parked like in an alley.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming they parked in an alley.
Okay.
They ran between houses, hopped a fence, and shot Taylor. So what we do know, because we didn't see them coming.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, it's
of
from
course
behind.
I didn't see them.
Yeah.
Taylor and Christopher said they did not see them coming. Taylor didn't see it till they were like right up on him and shot him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what they did see was them run away. So there's that on Somerset. There's that Monon Trail, and that's right where they were. Yeah. There was 2 houses right there, and they both have fences. So the 2 guys ran, hopped the fence, and ran behind those 2 houses. Remember I said there was a guy that had a video of the guys running in the back? So we know that they ran through the alley, behind Somerset. That's all we know.
But do you have a picture of the truck that they were in?
Oh, Taylor's truck? It's all, you can just Google Taylor J. Miller and it comes up. Like it shows
so we
the
can
truck.
We can share obviously Taylor's photo, the photo of the truck.
Yes.
And then I can pull the neighborhood where they were parked.
Absolutely.
Because obviously that'll ring some bells if we say, okay, it was on this street here in Indianapolis, and this is where they were parked at, and this is, the story.
Right. And I put up a couple hundred flyers all over the place, and I drove around and not one of them. It's like, does somebody go around and take those down?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they do, but
I have no idea.
I laminated every single one of them.
Oh gosh. I am so sorry that you've had to deal with this, and just to have the lack of movement and the lack of communication. And I can imagine. I'm such a communicator in general. Like if I don't even hear from my boyfriend after a few hours, I'm like, what's going on? Like, just to not have that, hey, we're working. I know I haven't talked to you, but we got something.
Well, actually,
you know what I mean?
They are required to contact me every so often.
Oh, really?
And she hasn't done that. She's violated that. I can't remember how often.
So that's part of what
it's
they're supposed
every 3 or 4 months they're supposed to contact you, and she absolutely does not.
Oh gosh. Wow.
It's like she thinks I'm just gonna go away.
Yeah.
I'm not going away.
No. It was your son, He had a full life ahead of him.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Not even that detective. I wouldn't wish that on her.
Yeah. You just want answers. You want work. You want somebody to do their job.
Yeah, it's time to pass it on.
Yeah.
Pass it on to somebody else.
So hopefully we can get that movement going.
And that's what Russ McQuaid was trying to get.
To get a new detective on the case.
I know he contacted the chief. He was he put in some words to try to get the case off of Lottie's desk, and that has not happened yet.
Well, Russ McQuaid got a lot of more pulls than I do, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. He's been in the industry a lot longer than me. Is there anything that you want to say?
Just, I met Taylor. I miss you. I love you. And I'll see you again someday.
Thank you for sharing this. I know this is hard. It's a lot. But I'm appreciative of you being brave, talking about your story. Because I think, like I said before, you know, I know you're seeking answers and what we want are answers, but I think in your story, I think other people are going to be able to relate to your loss and to be able to relate in what you're dealing with right now. And I think that's you and your story itself. You're going to be able to make an impact somewhere with somebody. Even though like there's pain on your end and you're hurt and you're angry and upset and, you know, you're missing your son.
I'm so confused. My brain is so confused.
Yeah.
Like I need answers.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will make sure to put all this information. There will be a blog post on my website at JohnetteCruz.com. We will have all the information. So if there is anybody with anything, any tips, the little smallest, tiniest bit of information can be the one little thing that this case needs in regards to Taylor. So if anybody has any information, we absolutely encourage you to contact the
share the information.
Yes, share the information. Please comment, please send these to people in the area, and obviously contact IMPD if there is anything happening. I will list all of I know they have a specific hotline that they use for homicides and ongoing investigations, so I'll make sure to put that in the blog post. We're also going to run this for those of you who are local here at 93 WIBC. We're going to be running the news story there as well. So we just encourage people to absolutely just take a second look, take at the location, the day that it happened, if you have friends or family in that area.
Yes, there was the Citizen app. It was on the Citizen app. There was a lot of people commenting on the Citizen app. Yeah,
that's a great thing. There's a lot of people in the area that are on that app. I get the notifications all the time we use the Citizen app a lot with some of the breaking news that happens in the city, and sometimes we get that first before we get anything else coming into the newsroom. And so when people see, they put it up. So I'm sure somebody who had that on that app, you can send us a DM, you can send me an email. I will just forward it to the appropriate parties. And
February 15th, 2023. I don't know if you can go back to the Citizens app that day.
I don't know either. I actually don't have a subscription.
Yeah.
So I don't know if...
But if anybody can.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if you can do that. I mean, but that if you could go back, that would be like...
Yeah, the detective didn't know about the Citizens app. I had to tell her she had to download it on her phone. But as a detective, she didn't know about the Citizens app.
She didn't know about the Citizen app?
No, she didn't. I had to tell her, and she downloaded it on her phone. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh. And she's like been in this department for like 20-some years. I don't know.
Wow. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. And believe me, I work in news, and, we talk with law enforcement all the time, and we're getting their press releases and all of this. But you know what? When there has been a case and it has not felt like it's been worked the way it needs to, we need to have a conversation about it, and we need to look at all facts and be like, what's going on? Yeah. Why aren't there answers? Why isn't the detective giving us a call back? Why won't you respond to a simple email to give us a statement so that we can share it with the mother? I don't understand how hard some of these are when that is your responsibility and that is your job.
Well, and also, why has it been 2.5 years for her to even ask Christopher to come back in and give a statement?
That's another thing.
They should say, get your ass down here and give a statement.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you not doing that's also you're not doing your job.
Thank you for coming on here.
Getting that statement is not doing your job.
No, it's not. Please give us information if you come across anything. Again, you can do that at JohnetteCruz.com. You can send me a DM on all of our social media, or all of my social media. You can email me at WIBC we would appreciate any news. So thank you so much for joining us on this week's Behind the Filter. Thank you.
Thank you.